Good morning from Los Angeles. 2 minutes late as usual. How's everyone doing? Happy Thanksgiving for everyone. Thank you for joining. Short trading week. I think the timing of this is working out pretty well because last 15 minutes or so, crypto started to pump. One reason or another, I haven't caught up to the news yet. Just kind of taking it easy, not opening any new positions this week. Really, just keeping what I have, and maybe the crypto pump has some staying power. There's been a lot of technical damage done, obviously, but it's crypto. It has its own mind, really. So welcome to Trading with Sergio Wednesday edition. Every Wednesday, actually, at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, rain or shine, we're going to do it. And Friday, I'm going to do Power Hour as usual at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to coincide with the market closing early on Friday. This is a short trading week, obviously, for Thanksgiving tomorrow. So welcome to Trading with Sergio again. What is going on? Not much is going on, really. The indexes keep pumping higher, but underlying health of the marketplace is really not that great. And if you own stocks that are down 30-40% with the market, when the index is pumping relatively close to all-time highs, it's a head scratcher. Well, it's not really. I mean, it's been like this for about 6-8 weeks now. A lot of stocks have been in their own corrective phases while the index is just, corrected maybe 5% on SPY and close to 10% or 8% actually on triple Qs. As you know, we all know and hear in the news cycle what's going on with AI. The AI reality is getting questioned, obviously, by a lot of famous folks. And look, I mean, markets are going to do what they're going to do. I've been saying this for forever now. Markets are a mechanism to make everybody wrong. When everybody gives up on something, it turns around. And when everybody is a bit too bearish, as we know, I don't know how many of you follow the Fear and Greed Index by CNN. I don't follow CNN whatsoever for the news, but that one index that they put together seems relatively accurate. It got as low as 7, I think, a couple of days ago, with the market only like 3-4% from all-time highs, which was a first-time occurrence, and very interesting, right? So we're coming out of extreme fear category today. We'll see where all this is going to end up. We'll see if we're going to still get the Santa rally. We have time, and I mean, there's a lot of talk going on, obviously, between what's going on JP Morgan and MSTR. I'm going to hit on that specific topic a little bit, but more importantly, I'm going to talk a little bit about 2x, 3x ETFs and how one must be super, super, super careful with what's going on with those, because a lot of people don't understand it and buy and hold it for a long periods of time, and they hold the bag. Even if the stock goes up, those ETFs do not participate, and two poster children for that is Tesla and MSTR, and we'll go through those. If you have any questions, please post them. I know today's probably a lot of people are out shopping or for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I don't expect a big crowd, but I'll hang out with you guys for about an hour or so, go through the positions. Another thing that I want to talk to you guys about today. So as some of you may know, good old Jimbo from CNBC. You all know who he is, Jim Cramer, right? He eloquently, well, maybe not eloquently, he blocked me on Twitter. Not sure why. I'm a decent person, actually. I don't know why they would do that, or he would do that. But then, people block a lot of people on Twitter. It's just one click away. And I don't block anyone. There are a lot of trolls that troll me on Twitter as well, but I mute them. Why block? I mean, maybe they have a point, right? Maybe they have something that I'm missing. So Long story short, there's one thing that I agree with Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer always says there is always a bull market somewhere, and I couldn't agree more with that comment, or with that. It's not an assumption; it's reality. Even on the worst bear markets, there are stocks that are going up because money does rotate. So once you understand rotation, you will do better even in bear markets, because there are stocks that go up in a bear market. And most of us only know how to buy things and sell things at a higher price, hopefully. That's right. But then there's the other side of the coin that's called shorting. And in bear markets, shorting does create wonders for one's account if you know what you're doing and if you know how to do it. But most people don't short, and institutions do, hedge funds do. Uh, but long story short, there's a bull market somewhere always, and the easiest way to figure that out is going to be create a scanner for yourself with a 52-week high list. Like I created one on my small Robinhood account that I started with when I started the channel with $1,000. I think it's up to like 6,000. Should have been better, but I don't pay too much attention to it. I just do small little trades in there. The point I'm trying to make is I've set up a scanner on Robinhood with 52-week high list. And so I'm going to go there, look down for a second, and I'm going to go there and take a look at it. Let's see how many stocks are in there. And by just setting those scanners up, what you can do is you can actually figure out where the money is going, where big money is rotating. So today we have 40 stocks that are making 52-week highs. Although the markets underneath the surface, a lot of stocks are down 30, 40, 50% from their highs. There are stocks that are making all-time highs. So, for example, I set up the scanner, Analog Devices, Albemarle, AMAT, Applied Materials, Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals, Anglo Gold, Avago, AstraZeneca. These are not small companies. And you set up the scanner with your own parameters. So I've set up 4 filters on the scanner. And those filters are today's volume. Volume is important. Liquidity, obviously. New 52-week high, obviously. And the next filter I set up is share price. I don't like anything under $2. And market cap. Let's see what I set up market cap for. I've set up market cap for 300 million to 2 billion, 2 billion to 10 billion, greater than 10. And I've picked all those. So small cap, mid cap, and mega cap. And whenever a stock is making 52-week high, that means there's money flowing into that stock, regardless of what the underlying indexes or its group is doing. So it helps quite a bit to find stocks. So I'm a huge believer in buy high, sell higher. I don't understand buy low, sell high, because buy low could go lower, a lot lower than people anticipate. Big example is the stock that I just added to my long-term portfolio, UPS. If you look at a UPS chart, it's been in its own bear market the last 3 years, while the indexes have gone up 60, 70%. And UPS is down 70%, literally. Or Lululemon is also in my long-term port. So with that said, reminder, I have 4 stocks in my long-term port. I bought Google in April, got very lucky with it. In fact, I just sold, in my long-term port, I tried to go for 1 year, 1 day for capital gains taxes, as opposed to doing short-term trading is short-term capital gains. The tax treatment is a lot different. Everybody's different. Where you trade, if you have a LLC, if you have a sub S, how you run your business is your business. I'm not going to give any advice because I'm not an accountant or a tax attorney. But the way I have set up mine is that I try to go for 1 year, 1 day to take advantage of 19% long-term capital gains taxes. So what I did is I bought Google at 152 during April's tariff crisis. And stock is 330, right? Well, it's great. It's more than a double and a half or almost a triple. I'm not going to sell it for tax purposes, obviously. I could sell it January 1 and push the taxes to next April, but I want to take advantage of the long-term capital gain structure that we have. And how did I do that? So I bought the stock actually April 20th this year. And so I went and sold May 350 calls for $26 or $26.50 yesterday against the shares that I bought. So that will put me over 1 year, 1 day. And if it does get called away, obviously I'm going to let it go. I do not like cover calls because it definitely stops you from multi-baggers on the upside, and it doesn't give you any protection in a bear market. But in some cases, I do like cover calls. In fact, I have some in my account, in my trading account at the moment. So those 4 stocks are UPS. I just bought UPS 4 days ago. I had Unity Software that I paid 21 and a half. That one I took the double. Unfortunately, I had to. I mean, doubles are to be taken. I have Lululemon. I think I'm up a little bit now. I have Kava, which I'm down on, not as much, maybe down 7-8 points, about 15%, and Google. So those 4 stocks. And I'm actually looking to add one more. It's pretty diversified actually, but I'm looking to add one more. I have space for one more, and the allocation is about 20 to 22% on each stock. I have full position on Kava, full position on Lululemon, full position on UPS, and full position on Google. Obviously, Google has become a major part of the account now, just for the fact that it's more than double. But that's that. Trading account, I've kept the same positions. I'll go through them, and we'll talk about that shortly. So anyway, let's remind everyone, today is Wednesday. Wednesday, what do we do? Trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Friday, I'm going to do Power Hour. I'm not going shopping. Friday, I'm going to do Power Hour at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, exactly when the market closes. Market will close early on Friday. Today is a full day. Again, shortened week. It'll be more relaxed. Maybe it will do like I don't think anybody's going to join the live actually on Friday, but maybe we'll do like a town hall kind of a thing. Maybe invite some folks. In fact, let me put the link up and then invite some folks today if you guys want to come on and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Here's the link. Here it is, if you want to join. All right, so good morning. Good morning, John. Good morning, New Chicago. AI stocks are slowly reversing to the upside. Are we out of the woods? No, I don't think we are out of the woods. A lot of technical damage done on those stocks. If you're talking about NVIDIAs and Palantirs and AMDs and things like that, I think they'll be in a trading range for a while. I mean, I've been talking about the circle jerking AI for a long time now. So I think they have reached to a point that the validity of AI is getting questioned. Not the validity of AI in itself, but the validity of the underlying company's earning structure is getting questioned. And I agree with all of that. And so, no, I don't think they're out of the woods. A lot of folks are very used to these stocks selling off 20-30% and going making all-time highs within a week. I don't think it's going to happen this time, but again, it's my opinion. Good morning, Mojo. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thanksgiving. What do you think of Shiba Inu? I have no idea. I know it's a shitcoin, altcoin, whatever. I don't want to offend you, but I only follow 3. I only own 1. I DCA into Bitcoin every Monday. I've been doing it all year. First initial purchase was in 2020. I didn't buy anything until I figured out what Bitcoin can do or is, and started DCAing every Monday, dollar cost averaging every Monday this year. In fact, averaging up, obviously. Shiba Inu, an altcoin, shitcoin, it got hammered October 10th. I don't. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't care, honestly. So I follow Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana, and I trade the underlying ETFs. I own SBET, SBET, SharpLink Gaming, which is a DAT. I mean, yeah, that's it. That's all I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else. MNAV on BMNR went up today. No, actually, MNAV on BMNR did not go up today. Ethereum went up today. That's why BMNR is going up. I don't think MNAV is going to expand. Now, if Ethereum takes off and goes to, I think it's just broke 3,000, which is good because there was a lot of resistance up there. And next leg, probably 3,200. MNAV is not going to expand unless Ethereum really takes off, makes an all-time high, MNAV expansion is going to be very difficult with these companies, because what the institutions are doing is they're buying the underlying and shorting these stocks that are above 1 MNAV. And you have to be really careful playing the MNAV game. I like the MNAV game. If once they go to a discount, then obviously they can do ATM sales and sell shares and buy ETH with it. Well, what they can do is they can buy the shares back and then grow the ETH per share basis that way, if they do have the cash, obviously. Well, BMNR is still selling shares and buying ETH, going up to 5%, so they can stake it at some point. So I'm in SBET, Sharplink Gaming at 0.82 MNAV. That'll be my horse in this game. Yeah, it's like buying dollar for 82 cents. If you believe Ethereum is going higher. If Ethereum is not higher, so on SBAD you have both ways. If Ethereum really takes off, even if SBAD goes from 0.82 MNAV to 1 MNAV, not above 1, great, you're going to get the double whammy in there. So at some point, the market's going to figure that out. But don't play the MNAV game, play the ETH game, right? If ETH goes up, BMNR is going to go up. There's no ifs and buts about it. And consequently, BMNU is going to go up, which I'm in. I got assigned 3,500 shares, and then I did some more covered, well, naked strangles on. I want to get assigned more shares. If not, lower my cost basis, obviously, but I'll go through the positions in a minute. I wouldn't trade BMNR because of MNAV. I would trade BMNR because of ETH. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. At this time, only holding VOO, DCA, XRPs, finite coin design. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm Japanese, I mean, that's coming back a little bit now, Japanese carry trade, the reverse side of it, actually. Look, I mean, interest rates around the globe are shooting higher. And the long bond market in Japan, JGB rates had hit all-time new highs yesterday. There's a reason for that. That's because they just created a stimulus package, hundreds of billions of yen, and trillion yen, actually. Long term, that's inflationary. But then again and again and again, global M2 has been rising. It's very surprising that Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana sold off while global M2 has been going up. And look, man, there's so much debt around the world that's never going to get paid back. You just keep kicking the can down the road, create more stimulus packages. China has a massive stimulus package going as well. They're doing exactly what we're doing, just print and spend, and that's the only way to come out of it. Because if they stop the music, if they go back to fiscal responsibility, markets will crash. I have zero doubt in my mind that markets will absolutely crash. Every market, stock market, bond market. So to me, they have to keep the music running. They have to keep the music going, because there's 9 people in the room and 1 chair. So yeah. I agree though, trading BMNR for ETH, not MNAV. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just look at ETH. Look, man, ETH goes up, BMNR is going to go up. There's no way BMNR is not going to go up if ETH doesn't go up. Like, look at today, right? ETH took off, BMNR took off like a shot out of hell, bat out of hell, right? So I just, that's what I do. I have multiple screens, obviously. On one, I'm watching ETH, and as soon as it ticks up, I mean, there's algos set up for that anyway. And as soon as ETH starts ticking up, BMNR starts ticking up, right? So, short term, long term, whatever you're going to do, look at ETH. ETH price rules. Nothing else matters, really. It did matter to a point, because on the way down from 4,700 to 2,700, that's, what's that, 40%, right? Yeah, somewhere in that range. 50% would have been 2,350. So 40%, how much did BMNR go down? It went from 70 to 24. It went down a lot more, because during that period, while ETH was selling off, MNAV got crushed. It was 1.7, 1.8 MNAV. It got all the way down to like 1.1. Well, MSTR's case, MNAV is under 1 now, right? It used to be 2.2. So you should kind of watch both. But for immediate short-term purposes, if you're short-term trading, you should just watch ETH. If you watch ETH, you'll figure it out. And that's why I'm buying things that are under 1 MNAV, so I don't have that headache. Okay. That's why my horse in that game on ETH anyway is SBAT. Great management. It's fully staked. Since June 2nd, they have already collected 7,600 ETH by staking the ETH. That's what Tom Lee wants to do when he gets to 5%. I don't know what he's not doing it now, and SBAT is doing it already. So it's creating a yield. I expect actually a dividend out of SBAT pretty shortly, because I don't know what they're going to do with that ETH. They're just adding to their ETH. The only downside about being under 1 MNAV is they can now do ATM sales and buy more ETH. Okay, because if you do ATM sales under 1 MNAV, it's like eating your own flesh. I mean, you're diluting for no reason whatsoever. I don't mind the dilution above 1 MNAV because that's what Tom Lee has been trying to do, buy as many ETH as possible, because the market's giving him a premium. And it's not because of me. So for some reason, institutions like BMN are more, so they're giving him the premium and he's taking advantage of it. But every time he does ATM sales, right, he's diluting, but he's going buying ETH at a cheaper price. So you have to understand the dynamics of all these DATs. DATs are kind of weird, but once you understand it, I think you'll have an easier time. So two topics I want to talk about today. One is ETFs, and I'll go through charts of two of the poster child children of 2x, 3x ETFs. Everybody loves these things, right? But then they buy and hold for a year. Please don't do that. Please do not buy 2x, 3x ETF and hold for long periods of time. You are going to get whacked. The reason for that is the 2x, 3x ETF do not own the underlying shares. For example, on Tesla or MSTR, those are the two prominent ones that I can show that you guys will clearly understand. Once I'm done with it, you guys will clearly understand why buying and holding 2x ETFs, 3x ETFs is dangerous for your pocket and your mental health, obviously. Now, you can obviously sell calls, but then you can do that with the underlying. Why? I mean, the numbers are mind-numbing how these 2x, 3x ETF bullish ones, right, melt. You know, they are for short-term trading purposes. Like if you catch a trend in a stock for maybe a week or two or three, that's fine. Buying a 2x, 3x ETF and holding is fine. But if you are buying this thing and holding for long periods of time, especially if you're doing ones, most of them have options, luckily, so you can actually lessen the pain with options, with selling options on it. But a lot of folks don't understand it and they buy and hold it. You can't buy and hold a 2x, 3x ETF because not only they don't hold the underlying, they own swaps and they own options, just like leaps and long-term options in there, or maybe quarterly options. And what happens is that every time they roll, they have to roll those options and swaps. And if the underlying is going down, next time they roll, the premium they pay may be a lot higher, and then that premium just keeps melting. And that's called slippage. Slippage is really, really something you all must understand. A lot of people don't understand that. Digital asset treasury companies, and most folks don't even have a clue about 2x, 3x ETFs. And now there's talk that 5x ETFs are going to come around because people love these products. I get it. There's a time and space for all these things. But if you buy TSLL because you like Tesla, or if you bought MSTU because you liked MSTR, you are demolished. Literally, you're demolished. Okay? So buyer beware, as usual, as I always say. And once you understand the mechanics of how these things work, and they all have their own websites, by the way, they all have the net asset value. Go check it out. Go to TSLL's website and see what's in that 2x ETF of Tesla. Go to MSTU's website. Go check out what's in there. I guarantee you there's not a share of MSTR or there's not a common share of Tesla in those 2x ETFs. And the 3x ETFs are going to have more slippage. Yes, they're going to reward you on the upside if you do catch a leg up, but they're going to also kill you on the way down. And the 5x ETFs obviously are going to have more slippage because leverage is an okay thing. I don't mind leverage, but what I do mind is people not understanding what they're buying, what they're getting into. And then I don't want people to lose money. I mean, if I can stop you from losing money, I think I did my job. Forget about you following me and you follow my trades and make money. That's not the point. The point is, first, you have to learn the risks. A lot of folks on X, a lot of folks on YouTube don't talk about risk. Look, there is risk getting in your car and driving to the supermarket, okay? There is risk in everything. There is risk in waking up the next morning. So I have understood risk long time ago while I was on the desk trading. Risk is something that most people ignore. What they do is they hope and pray that something will happen. Like this rally that we just started 15 minutes ago before I came online, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum are pumping. Who's to say they're not going to end down negative? Nobody knows that. A lot of people have opinions. They're just opinions. They go, oh, Bitcoin's going to do this. Bitcoin's going to do that. Nobody knows. Market knows. Follow the price. The price takes precedence for me. Volume takes second. And if you follow those two just simple rules, you will understand it. But when you're structuring a trade or when you're buying something, understand why you're buying. What is it that you're buying? Is it 2x ETF, 3x ETF? Is it going to follow the stock on the way up? Yes. For a short period of time. Is it going to follow it on the way down? Yes. But then every time they have to roll the swaps and options, there's slippage. You're going to lose. So buying and holding these, in fact, disclaimers on their website said these are short-term trading vehicles. These are day-to-day trading vehicles. These are not buy and hold vehicles. There is a disclaimer in there. But most people ignore all the disclaimers, and then they lose their ass, and then they go, Serge, what happened? I'm like, I told you what they are. Why did you buy it? Right? I mean, you know the risk. You can't just close your eyes and say, oh, well, I like it because I want to make 3x the money on the way up. I'm like, wonderful. But I'll show the charts and I'll prove it to you guys. Yeah, so my point in all of this is buyer beware, and I'll go to the charts. So let's take a look at the two poster children for 2x ETF disasters. Okay, let's go take a look. So we'll go to the positions in a minute. Hope you guys can see this. Well, I'm sure you guys can. Let's go to charts. All right, so this is going to be a lesson for all. Here's the big charts. All right, ETHA is pumping. That's the 2x. That's the one for one Ethereum ETF. I don't know where the rally came from, but it came from somewhere, and thank God, because I have a shit ton of beer menu. But let's look at Tesla first, okay? Tesla. All right, this is Tesla stock. 1 year, 1 day. Okay, it's simple, not complicated. Here it is. Okay, so let's pick a date. Let's pick a day. Let's pick a point on this chart. So I'm going to pick this day when Tesla's high was 488. Okay, and that day it closed at 440. Okay, that's right there. So what day was that? That day was December 18th, 2024. Okay, all right. So the 2x ETF of Tesla is TSLL. So we're going to go December 18th and look at the closing price of TSLL. That's the 2x ETF of Tesla. And here it is. This is the day, 12/18. Closing price on TSLL was 33.55. So remember those numbers, 440 on Tesla. Okay. And let's call it 34. Let's go round numbers. This is Tesla, common stock, 12/18, 440. That's the closing price. And TSLL, same date, right there. My cursor is on it. 12/18, closing price, 33.55. Let's call it 34. Okay, are we good? All right. So let's go fast forward to today. This is less than a year now. Let's say you bought TSLL at 34, December 18th. Okay, TSLL. That's TSLL, and this is Tesla. All right, so let's fast forward to today. What's today's Tesla price? Today, just now. Okay, so we are November 26th, 2025, and Tesla's price at this second is 423. Get it? What was it in December 18th, 2024? 440. Stock is 423. So it's down about 17 points, which is what? Down about 4%. Correct? Do you agree? Disagree? Agree. Okay. 4%. Now let's look at TSLL. Well, TSLL was 34. Here's TSLL. TSLL closing price at this second is 1760. 34 to 1760. 50% less. So in 1 year, if you bought Tesla, you would be down 4%. If you bought TSLL, you would be down 50%. You guys get it now? You guys get the dangers of buying and holding these 2x ETFs? Okay. 4%, 50%. Even if you were selling calls, you're not going to come out of it if you bought it at 35. You're going to keep selling calls month after month, week after week, whatever you're doing, and you're still going to be a massive loss. So let's go to the poster child of it. MSTR. So let's pick the same day. Let's pick a day. Same thing, actually. Let's pick the same dates. 12/18. This is 12/16, 12/17, 12/18. Here's 12/18. Okay. 12/18 closing price was $350 on MSTR. And today's closing price at the moment, it hasn't closed, but last price on MSTR is 180. So 12/18, we were at 350. 175 would be 50%. So it's down a little bit less than 50%, maybe 48%. This is MSTR, the common shares. Okay. MSTU is the 2x ETF. We're going to look at the same dates. Here's 12/18. 12/18. Closing price was 11.84. Let's say it was 12. Okay. So MSTR was down 48%. And at the moment, MSTU price is from 12 to $1.23. $1.23. So MSTR is down 48%. MSTU is down over 85%. Again, the dangers of buying and holding 2x ETFs. Now, hopefully, all of you are able to understand the risks. All of you are able to understand. And did MSTU have rallies when MSTR rallies? Absolutely it did. But it doesn't matter. On the way down is what matters, right? And again, on Tesla, was Tesla a wonderful trading stock? Yes, it was. So let's take a short-term period how powerful these 2x ETFs could be on the upside. So Tesla was going sideways for months. It broke out. It went from, so let's pick this day right here, the breakout day. It was 355. Within a week, it reached 455, 100 points higher, meaning within 2 weeks, stock was up 30%. Okay. Now let's pick up the same days again. Okay. Now it shows the power of these things on the upside as well. So 355, the date was 9/11. And by 10/1, literally 10/1, 2 weeks later, stock was 100 points higher. Okay. So that's 30%. So let's look at TSLL. Same thing, 9/11 to 10/1. Here's 9/11. Right there, 9/11 closing price, 14.83. Let's say 15, and 10/1 closing price, 22.5. Right. So 7.5 points, meaning 50%. So even on the way up, they're underperforming, right? So Tesla went up 30%. This should have gone up 60%. It didn't. It only went up 52%. So on the way up, you're underperforming. On the way down, you're underperforming by owning these 2x ETFs. But for short periods of time, they will give you what they promised they're going to give you. But on the way down, you're going to get whacked. And even on the way up, they're not performing as well as they should. So with that said, hopefully you guys now understand the dangers of owning these 2x ETFs. Okay. All right. So you could have a cell phone view. You have two views on YouTube. There's two live streams going on. One is for vertical, one is for horizontal. It's your choice which one to pick. I don't know. Some people don't like the vertical, some people don't like the horizontal. YouTube created the choice for people to be able to watch in both formats, and I like it. Some people watch it on their cell phones. Like I can see myself on two sides now, two screens. Okay, so let's see. So that's one topic I wanted to talk about, right? Let's look at this knucklehead says you look like in capital letters, like Jeffrey Goldberg. Who's Jeffrey Goldberg? You're either going to go to YouTube jail any second now. Okay, who's the Jeffrey Goldberg? He's the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, and I'm looking at his picture. I really don't look anything like Jeffrey Goldberg. Maybe the glasses are kind of very similar. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to spare you. I'm not going to send you to YouTube jail. Unless there's another Jeffrey Goldberg that I'm missing. I have no fucking idea who Jeffrey Goldberg is. Is that the guy you're talking about? Mr. Pollard? Jeffrey Goldblum? The actor? No, I don't look... Oh, I kind of actually look more like Jeffrey Goldblum than I look like Jeffrey Goldberg. I don't know who that is. I don't pay any attention to it. I don't see any of the Jeffrey Goldbergs that are famous enough. Anyway, so if that's why you meant, I guess I'll take it. I have a cell phone view. Yeah, you can see the little icon. So most of you are watching on the cell phone view. And you can watch it on, you click on the cell phone view live stream, you'll see the cell phone view. And there's a little icon next to the live stream. There's two live streams if you go on YouTube, my YouTube channel. One is horizontal, one is vertical. So you have your choice. Like most of you, I see little icons, cell phone icons next to your avatars here on the chat, StreamYard chat, and most of you are on vertical. Go to the second one, it'll be horizontal. It'll be this one with the background more visible. You have your choice. You can have both. You cannot have both. You can have one or the other. Okay, so far it looks like BMNU is recovering the same as it was on the way down. Yeah, because it's very short term. But if you hold BMNU for a month or two or three, you're not going to get the upside. Okay, yeah, minor slippage because time is not there yet. But wait another month, wait another 2 months, you'll see the slippage. Slippage doesn't happen. It sometimes happens very little day to day, but it only happens massively when they're rolling. And if you hold, I mean, I gave you the example. I couldn't be more clear. Watch that segment again. I'll put that out as a video on its own anyway. For example, 3x ETH was BMNU 751 a week ago. Today is the same. Yeah, this will change and it will slip. It will slip. It will keep slipping. Minor, you won't notice it, but over a year period, look what I showed you on TSLL and look what I showed you on MSTR. If you're still holding BMNU a year from now, you're going to lose, regardless of what. Well, if BMNR goes to 100, then you'll still be okay, but your upside will not be as much as it should be. Okay. So yeah. All right, let's go to positions. It doesn't look like anybody wants to come on. And then we'll cut it short and I'll go have a cup of coffee. All right, so let's go to the positions. So I clearly kind of explained myself on that one. So 52-week high list, please pay attention to 52-week high list, folks. There are some good-looking charts in there, good-looking companies, and in fact, we could go through some of those. But although, you know what, I'll go through that more in detail on Friday, how you can take advantage of it. You know, a lot of people are stuck on stocks, obviously the same names, Hood and SoFi and, you know, Palantir and NVIDIA and whatever. Yeah, okay, cool. But there's 10,000 stocks. Go find some stocks that are doing better than NVIDIA, actually. While NVIDIA is selling off, there are stocks that are making 52-week highs, right? So, you know, one example was Albemarle, right? Look at the chart on NVIDIA, look at the chart on Albemarle. Obviously, you can tell money is going into Albemarle, right? I mean, is there a question about it? While NVIDIA and Palantir and SoFi and Hood are selling off, Albemarle's going up. Trending anyway, trending higher. So follow the 52-week high list. Why mess with BMNR and SPET and all that garbage? You know, don't do what I do. Here's ETHA. That's the iShares Ethereum Trust. Now we're selling off a little bit, but oh, positions. What am I doing? Okay, let's go to positions. Same positions really as on Wednesday. Where are we? Okay, so first position, I have 400 leaps on ASST. Going out to January 2027. 400 of the 2.5 leaps and 300 of the 5 leaps. I'm underwater a little bit, but I was short to 10 leaps and bought those back and probably collected close to 15 cents out of those. So my cost basis is lower actually. So this is what happened on BMNU. I'm long 3,500 shares. Cost basis is wrong. There is a problem with Thinkorswim. When you do sell a put and you get assigned, it doesn't reflect itself immediately. It doesn't consider the put premium that you took in. It's showing 891, but I calculated it to be about 810. And then what did I do this week? Immediately on Friday, once I got assigned last Friday, on Monday, I sold more naked strangles. I sold a 611 naked strangle and 511 naked strangle. 611s I sold for $1.57 and 511s I sold for $1.10. So if the stock is under 6, I'm going to get assigned another 500 shares. If the stock is up under 5, I'm going to get another 500 shares. So I'm accumulating a position on BMNU. But at the same time, what I did is I went and sold 8, 9, and 10 calls. I sold the 8 calls at $1.20. I sold the 9 calls at, this is going out to December 19th. I only do these because they have monthlies, December 19th. And I sold the 9 calls at 95 cents. I sold the 10 calls at 70 cents. So if I do get called away, great, good upside. If I don't get called away, lower my cost basis. And if it's between 6 and 11 or 5 and 11, I will get assigned more shares. Well, the options will expire worthless, the strangles, and then I will lower my cost basis some more. If it's below 6, I'll get assigned more shares. If it's below 5, I'll get assigned more shares. And then we'll turn around and sell calls again. So this will become like an ATM for me. As long as, if I don't get called away, fine. If I get called away, fantastic. There's your capital gains on top of the premiums, obviously, you collected. So it's all good. Yeah, the one thing that with Thinkorswim you guys need to do is, that's why I keep my own spreadsheets on the side, because this position ended up at 3,500 shares of BMNU because I had sold naked strangles. I had sold 10. Initially, it started with a cover strangle, bought 1,500 shares and sold the 10 puts, 10 calls for $2.30. Then when the stock went lower, I started selling naked strangles. I started selling 8s and 10s, 8, 10 naked strangle, then 7 and 10 naked strangle. Well, for 8 and 10, I took in 85 cents between the calls and the puts. Obviously, 10 calls expired worthless, and I got assigned. Well, my cost basis on those is 8 minus 85 cents is 7.15. On the 7s, I took in 65 cents for that strangle, 6, 7, 10 strangle. My cost basis is $6.35. Well, it's showing in cost basis on the shares at $8.91, which is incorrect. So maybe they'll correct it. I know they corrected for puts after a while, Robinhood doesn't do that either, by the way. I don't know if Tasty does it, but for the calls, they don't. You have to figure that out on your own kind of spreadsheet or whatever you do to keep track of all that stuff. So I know for a fact that my cost basis after all the put premium and the call premium I collected and got assigned is 778. So that's where my cost basis is. That's why I sold the 8s, 9s, and 10s calls. If I get called away, great. If I don't get called away, fine. I'll lower the cost basis into low 7s, if not lower, if they expire worthless. I'm long 5,000 shares of Blaze AI. Same position, 243 cost basis, 237. So basic break even. And I am long 210 of the January 2026 $15 calls, and that's all I have. In fact, I was going to go sell some calls against those. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see. SBAT was 1036 high. Let's see if we can grab a few pennies for next Friday. For December 5. December 5, 15 calls, 1-5. Let's see if we can sell 50 of these at 3 cents. I've been doing this every week, lowering the cost basis in there. Nope, my offer. Well, we'll keep it there. We'll sell some of those. We'll sell another 50 at 4 cents. You guys will say, Serge, what is that going to do? I'm like, makes a big difference. If you're holding a position with options and you're basically avoiding theta decay. I'll sell 50 more at 4, 50 more at 5, at a nickel. You know, you're basically eliminating theta decay because you're holding directional options and you're going to get killed by theta decay. Yeah, that's about it. And then the rest will keep the way it is. If we do get a bounce, I'll get those off today or Friday. These are for next Friday. So yeah, that's where the positions are. Not much really. Looks okay to me. Especially BMNU. Yeah, so I'm almost even on the stock actually. My cost base is 778 and 760. Got up to 770. I'm just gonna wait until December 19th. If the stock is above 8, I'll get called away at 8. But I took in $1.20, so 8 plus $1.20 is 9.20. If I get called away at 9, 9 plus 95 cents is 9.95. Okay, cool. And if I go called away at 10, 10 plus 70 cents is 10.70. So I spread them out. If the stock is above 10, I'll get all the shares called away, the 3,500 shares, and the puts and the naked strangle will obviously expire worthless because I am short the 6 puts and 5 puts within 11 calls. So 511 naked strangle, 611 naked strangle. And what I'm going to do now is try to go sell some more of those naked strangles. Where are we? Let's see if I can do the 411. If I can do the 411 for like 85 cents, it would be nice. And then you're going to say, well, what if the stock takes off? I mean, you can always buy shares. I'm not going to worry about that part at all and turn it into a cover call. Or you can buy a higher strike. These are every dollar. I can buy the 12 calls and turn it into a call credit spread. So there's so many ways to get out of trouble. Once one side gets threatened, then you're in trouble. You can either, if you're short puts, you can short the shares. If you're short calls, you can buy the shares. Just like the market maker does. Think like a market maker when you're trading these things. All right, so 4 puts are 20.35. Yeah, maybe we can get them off at 25 cents. Maybe 28 cents. Why don't do the 5s again? Yeah, 5s we can get off at 50 cents. Is it worth it? 6s are more worth it, 65.95. And the stock is at 762. Yeah, I think we'll do 5. Sell the 5s and 12, 512 maybe. Yeah, 512 looks good. Talking 12 or 513 looks better. 513 for $1 maybe. That's a good strangle, man. Okay, sell the 5s, sell the 13s or 14s. Okay, 13s are fine. 45.85. We'll go to 14s. See if we can get them off at 40 cents. Okay. Sell the 5 puts. Sell the 92 cents. 514 strangle. Let's do some. Let's go for 95 cents. So that means I have the right to sell the shares at $14.95, and I have the right to buy the shares at $4.05. Well, I will get assigned at $4.05. I have the obligation to buy it and I have the right to sell it. Let's do it. Very equity efficient too. All right, we'll put the order in. If not, we'll lower it to 90 cents at some point. Yeah, looks good. That's where we are. We're going to answer some questions and finish today off, and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining. So I don't know where the rally came from, but the volume was pretty solid on the ETH. And I'm looking at the 2-minute chart. We're kind of, the MACD's kind of turning around from oversold levels, which is fine. I mean, the rally is not going to be what people expect again, on ETHA. I think we can get maybe to 3,200, maybe 3,300 on ETH. But, rallies must be sold. We're in the downtrend, folks. You can lie all you want to yourself. This snack is going to take off like a rocket. There's a lot of resistance. So that's why I'm doing naked strangles as well. In fact, I'm going to do that naked strangle at 90 cents. Let's lower it a penny at a time. Let's see if we can negotiate with this asshole. Let's go 94 cents. Nope. It's the market maker for you. I can leg in, probably do this. But then I don't feel like it. 93 cents. Nope. I'm an asshole. 92 cents. That's all you get. I ain't doing more. Nope. Where can we leg into this? Yeah, he lowered the bids anyway. Look what he did. They were 30.50. He lowered it 25.50. I can go to 14. I can get the 14s, 13s off at 45 cents. And these off, 513. I can do at 95 cents, I'm pretty sure. Let's do that. 5 puts. 13 calls, 97 cents. Let's try to do them at $1. All right, that's better. It's all good. All good. So those are the positions. I'll post those on the community page today. And yeah, I mean, BMNR, how much is BMNR up today? BMNR is up 31.94. It's up 10.5%. BMNU, see, 10.5%. It should be up 21%. It's only up 20%. There's where your 1% slippage right there on the way up. There's slippage on the way up, slippage on the way down. But obviously, it's better to, why not, right? It's better to get 20% than in one day, right? So be careful with these 2x ETFs, folks. Is MSTR rallying? Is Bitcoin rallying as much? Yeah, MSTR up only 7. Pathetic, really. IBIT is the, yeah, it looks, this is Ethereum, 2 minute, 10 minute, 10 day. 10 minute, 10 day is perfect for option trading, actually, if you're going to go a month out or so. So we're just breaking out a VWAP, which is good. And this is my intraday charts. Yeah, I think we can get up to maybe 25.75 or so on ETHA. That's another 10% from here. So BMNR would be like 33, 34, and BMNU should be 20% higher. Yeah, the naked strangles are going to be fine. Yeah, 513 at a buck is a ridiculous amount of money that they're giving you. Anyway, so that's where we are. Now, a lot of Bitcoiners and Ethereum BMNR believers are going to go, they're all underwater, by the way, and they're all go like, oh, I'm going to do diamond hands, I'm going to buy more. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, Ethereum is on a downtrend, clear downtrend. If you're a technician, chopstick guy, you know, ETHA went from 36 down to 20. Well, there you go. So, yeah. Anyhow, my big trade is going to be the ASST trade, actually. I'm long 700 leaps. Yeah, that thing pops. That could be a year maker, actually, honestly. So this guy's not doing those at $1. Will you do it at 95 cents, sir? No rush. And let the market come to you, by the way. Never, ever chase anything. Can we do them at 98 cents, sir? Can we? No? Okay. Can we do it at 97 cents? No? Okay. Well, we're not going to do it then. We're gonna wait for our price. We're gonna do them at a buck. I'll do the strangle at a buck. This is 513 strangle for a buck going out to December. Regular expiration. Anyhow, so yeah, I think I'm gonna say goodbye. Go have a cup of coffee, answer some questions if there's questions. So, what do you guys think? Do I look like Jeffrey Goldberg? I don't even know who he is. He's the editor of The Atlantic, supposedly. Oh, so far looks like, okay, we answered that one. I still puts around 16, so I'm going to try to exit ASAP when I sign December 19th. Anyway, thanks again. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're the guy that was stuck, right? But you took in $6, right? If you didn't get early assigned already, you may not get assigned because now we're moving up. Now there's going to be some extrinsic value in those puts, right? I know you're way deep in the money, but there may be some extrinsic value now that stock is going higher. So your break even, I think, was like, what was it? We took in 6.5, I remember. So 9.5. I mean, we're at 760. You're not that far. If you do get the break even, yeah, absolutely. Or roll them. Then now you can roll. At 5, you couldn't roll. I mean, there's nothing you can do. And I'm shocked that you didn't get early assigned, actually. That's because they're December's probably. There was still some extrinsic value left. But if we do get to 9.5, look, if Ethereum runs to 3,300, that's 10% from here. And BMNR will be up about 10 to 11%. So I'll be like 33, 34. And BMNU should be up 20% more from where it is today. 20% on 7.5 is $1.50. You should get to 9. And right at that level, I think you should just roll. Because I don't think it's going to be a straight shot up. That's my opinion. It could be anything. Anything is possible. But at that level, you just understood the mistake you made. And hopefully you won't do it again. Yeah, you won't do it again, hopefully. So $23 BMNU on October 13th. Well, hopefully you're $23 BMNU. Are they worth any? 20? I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. So, yeah, I remember you. You're the guy that was stuck and you looked at the premium. It was so juicy and you took the premium. You know, we talked about that, right? We talked about selling puts. Understand the risk. Buyer beware. Don't jump into shit that you don't understand. Yeah, I remember, Anyway, so good luck. Good luck to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. So schedule the rest of the week is going to be Power Hour on Friday. We're just going to talk about markets this year or whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll open it for folks to join. Hopefully somebody will join. And then back on Monday, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then Fridays, again, 10 a.m. Pacific. Today, members only live at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. It'll be short, but if you want to support the channel, become a member. You'll have access to my trades live. You'll have access to me, obviously, one-on-one. And I'll do one live stream a week every Wednesday. So click join, send me an email, sergio@sergioavadian.com. I'll send you the Telegram chat group link. That's live. That's one. And last but not least, I'm trying to improve financial literacy in the country for everyone, specifically gig workers as well. And please sign up to my free newsletter on my website, www.sergioavadian.com. We're putting out amazing content. How do I know that? OpenAI crawlers are coming around and checking the checking the articles we're putting out. We put in free article. It's free. I don't have Discord. I don't have this. I don't have paid anything. It's a free article. I want to improve financial literacy. And it goes from the basics all the way to complicated stuff. So it's free newsletter. Free these days is pretty good, right? So go subscribe and you'll get it every Monday at 12 Pacific. You get one newsletter a week. And so far, there's really good content on the website. It's a new website. It's about a month and a half old. And go check it out. Go share it. There is some really, really eye-opening articles already there. It's short, I'm not asking for too much attention span here, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes. But they're very valuable tools because I think your financial freedom is in your own hands. Government's not going to save you unless you have super rich parents. They're not going to save your ass either. So I'm certainly not going to do it. I'm trying to do it for my kids. But all I'm saying is you learn. Education is key. Information is key. Financial literacy is in the doghouse in this country. We don't do it. And I know we don't do it on purpose. It's necessary from elementary school all the way to college. And so please go check it out and subscribe. Thumbs up. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Eat some turkey, watch some football. Talk about finance tomorrow at the dinner table instead of just football. Talk about the markets. Talk about AI. Talk about if your job is threatened by AI. Talk about if you're done amazingly well by investing for long periods of time. Talk about crypto. Make that the conversation at the dinner table tomorrow, at the Thanksgiving table tomorrow, as opposed to some TikTok influencer garbage. Okay, I know what I'm saying could be boring, but the only way to close the wealth gap, and I'm a capitalist, okay, is by proper information and proper education, and I'm trying to put that out there as much as I can. So help me out, and let's on this journey of financial literacy for all in this country, because the wealth gap is higher than ever. Okay, top 10% owning 87% of the assets in this country, and they're the only people that can spend money at the moment because the economy is not doing as well as people say it is, especially with the government gaslighting going on. Okay, the bottom 50% own just 1% of the assets in this country. So why shouldn't they play? Why shouldn't they get in the game? And when I say play, start investing small, $5 a day, $10, and on the website, the articles will show you how to do that. Again, it's free. Just go check it out. Put a thumbs up today if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on Friday. Happy Thanksgiving.